Okay, let's do this. Let's actually merge a lot of Excel files automatically using OpenPyXL. So first of all, we already told you delete playbook, it's pre-filled. And by deleting, it's not enough because you already pre-filled the active sheet and so on in your objects variables already. So you just need new variables in the beginning. So let's start with what I've exactly told you here. Make a new workbook you call final workbook. And that means you need again OpenPyXL and make a new workbook. And great. And then you need the final sheet as surely because we already know that we always need to work in the active sheet. So we take our final workbook and take our active sheet here. And then we know the fast method to actually make the date and the header row, so to say, to it. And this is by just using the function append. And there we have date. Then we have product. And then we have amount sold. Sorry. Amount sold. Okay. We can print it just to be sure. Oh, I'm pretty sure it works. Great, done. First exercise completed. Playbook is deleted. We only have the Excel files we need in here. So now let's merge. We just have to throw all the things we learned together. So first of all, let's take the loop where we go through document by document, because that should be the outer loop. We have to go through document by document, open the first document, and once we open that, go in that document row by row, cell by cell through it, right? And merge it with the final sheet. So let's take this loop, because that's exactly how we go through the documents. We open with OAuth all the file names in it, which are still lists. Then we take the lists of the current files. So we have 3 lists of current files. Then we go one loop down to open the single files. And if it is an Excel file, then we load this Excel file in current workbook and open the current sheet in current worksheet. The print we don't need. And in this hierarchy, we have now opened a worksheet and can start merging it with final sheet. So we need to go back in our script and look up where we have the merging parts, and they're here. We copy that, and in the same hierarchy, we placed it here. Okay, let's look at that. It's all screwed up now. First of all, we have to put that in order again. So this is a for loop, so this should be in that order. And this is a for loop inside the for loop, so this should be here as well. But this should be then here, because it's part of that loop. This is part of that loop, so it should be here exactly. And this is, so now it should be aligned correctly, right? So let's make that, because I actually like that. I can do that better. Great. Now let's change that. Until here everything's fine, but here there's stuff messed up, because current row is good because we do not use this variable on the top file here, but in which file we talk, or which sheet we talk about, not ChanTP, because that's a specific sheet. We want to have that in the current worksheet, because we opened that just above. Then the placeholder array can be the placeholder array. We do not have to print that anymore. So we can spare that. Then we go in our current row, we go into current cell, which is part of the current row, current cell value. We do not have to do that. It's just for debugging purposes. Then we append that. Then we go to playsheet append. And that's something we do not use anymore because we now have called it final sheet. Placeholder array, then okay. And then the loop is done, and in the end we save the final workbook and we call the file merged because we merged all the documents. Okay, that was a bit fast, I know. So let's go through it step by step again. First of all, we have an outer loop where we open all the files, and then again we have to go down because we have lists in there, and we have to go one down anymore, so we get to the point where we have the last list containing those Excel files in it. We check for each of them if they're an Excel file, so we can skip the other things we don't need. And if it's an Excel file, then we actually take that name we have in hand, for example, April Honey XLSX, open that, open the active worksheet, and now we have it working. We take that worksheet we have, tell now in another loop, okay, go into the first row of the active worksheet, which could be this one. Then once you're in there, make a blank placeholder array and fill that cell by cell. So we need another for loop inside that where we, for the first row, go in this cell, append it to the placeholder array, then this cell, append it to the placeholder array, then this cell, append it to the placeholder array. No more cells left. So inner loop done, which means we're then entering this command, which means I append the array containing the three values to our new document called final sheet. Then I'm done here, so I'm going back to this loop, which means I'm going from the first row to the second row, going through that until I'm at the end. Then this is empty. I'm leaving that loop, which means I'm going back to that loop and I'm opening the next file and make the same thing again. Then I'm opening the next file, the next file, the next file. And for each file, I'm doing this inner loop and appending that. So in the end, this should have worked. Let's test it. That was fast. I'm reloading. Here's a file called merged, as we said. Let's download that. Let's open that. This is the old one. No worries. And here we are, the final document called merged, and I'm making this a bit wider so we see everything. So as we can see, we have now a document containing a lot of files, and it seems to have worked. And now we could filter it and everything and so on. I know this took quite a while to learn. However, be aware, you do that once and after that it's automated. It took a while because you never used it before. So I had to tell you everything in detail. In practice, once you do that a couple of times, it gets quite easy and it gets faster. I hope you learned something. I know that you cannot understand everything of those functions, but that's why I used in the end as something you may use as a script here with minor details changing in practice. And I hope you had in your work life. Hope you had fun. See you next time. Bye.